Okay, good afternoon, everybody. This is Orange County Executive Steve Newhouse, and we are going to, for the next hour or so, give you an update on economic development, how it impacts small businesses, what you can do as a small business owner, what's available to you. We'll talk about unemployment for individuals out there. So I'm going to introduce everybody as they speak. So we got four people speaking in addition to me. We're going to start with Bill Fioravante, who's the Director of Economic Development. He's going to give us a broad overview. Bill?
Thank you, Steve. Hello, everybody. Our First of all, best wishes to everyone out there. We know this is an incredibly tough time, and we're all working as a team to try and support you the best we can. And here we want to talk about all the financial assistance that's available. I want to just touch off with a brief overview. I want to direct people to our economic development webpage. Let me just share my screen here for a second on that. Uh, so you can see that. This is our economic development webpage. It's very easy to go to the county webpage and find the department and come here, or you can Google Orange County Economic Development and our page comes up. Very simple what's on here. Let me just make sure uh, you see a few links on here. I just want to step you through very quickly the few links related to this for businesses and nonprofits. First document, first link is a basic FAQ answer sheet here talking about the basics really and the essentials. Does my business have to shut down? How can I confirm I can remain open as an essential business? You see all the links that you need there. How can I run my restaurant during this? And if I can remain open, how can I protect my staff, my customers, and such? Got some information from U.S. Chamber of Commerce as well as the CDC and some other such information. We also have had a number of local manufacturers reach out and say that they can manufacture personal protective equipment or PPE, which is becoming a household term for us. The information here is on that fact sheet as well. If you're interested, there's a number to call or an email you can send to. And then what most people, of course, are looking for is what is your financial assistance that's available. A lot of information, and a lot of that information is changing daily, sometimes hourly. The rest of the team here is going to continue to explain some things. But you have some basics here on the CARES Act and SBA with some links, some places to get technical assistance, and some other items that are still available. So I want to touch on one before I turn it over to my next team member, the Orange County Industrial Development Agency, our IDA, of course. They are about to launch an emergency loan program. The details are not final. What I'm going to share right now is what I heard from the IDA a few days ago. They are still finalizing details, so please understand that some of these may change. But the intention, the idea is to be a no interest, no fee loan program. They have allocated at least $500,000 for this to create a pool fund for it. We're expecting them to be about $10,000 loans maximum each. Again, no interest, no fees. Not yet certain if they're going to be forgivable loans. You may have to repay them, but that they're still sorting out. The focus for the IDA seems to be on Main Street businesses, those specifically that have not been shut down as a result of COVID, that have been shut down. Those that are able to stay open and can bring in some revenue will likely not be the focus of this grant. They're also trying to maybe target supply chain issues some of our companies have had. They may help you make payments to some of your vendors because though we're finding that those vendors are really only taking care of the companies that are paying them the fastest. So they want to help bridge the gap there as well. There will be a loan committee, probably one of the existing committees on the IDA or their sister entity, Orange County Funding Corporation, probably serve as the loan committee. It is restricted to Orange County businesses. You will have to demonstrate that you've been impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. Beyond that, we are still expecting some more details. They won't finalize and approve this until April 9th at the earliest, but we expect that they will do so. And then, of course, they'll be launching the information on their website. On the fact sheet, the FAQ sheet that I just gave you a glimpse at, I do have information about the IDA loan and their link that you'll be able to click on that and go right to their COVID page and find out what the latest and greatest is. A lot of
And
resources out there, but you have to help wade through them. We're here to help you that. County Executive, one last thing I do want to share is my phone number. I want to get that out there. I know you've been sharing it. I want to make sure everyone knows it. It's 845-645-8052. Maybe different than what you see on websites and such, but I'm actually giving you my cell phone number directly. Call me, text me, email me. Been hearing from, I think we've spoken to about 200 plus businesses so far. We just want to provide the relief and help spoon feed the information the best we possibly can. Please don't hesitate to reach out. I am a few calls behind with all these types of meetings and such, but we're making every effort to get back to you ASAP. So please reach out. You're not alone in this.
And,
County Executive, I'm done.
And everybody that's watching right now, you don't have to frantically write stuff down. This is all being recorded and you can watch it again later on and skip to the part that you need for any of the links that any of the speakers are going to refer to, or any phone numbers. And we'll also try to maybe give a summary at the bottom as well. So next up is Amanda Dana. She's our tourism director for Orange County. She's going to talk about small business, a summary on that. And when our speakers are done, we're going to take questions from you on Facebook Live. So if you're watching and you have some questions, start typing them, get them to me. Some of them are already coming in. Amanda, you're on.
Hi there, guys. And to repeat what Bill Fioravanti said, yeah, we're all in this together. It's such a trying time right now for all of our businesses, not just tourism businesses, but small businesses in general. And thought it's incredibly important to get this message out. And thank you, County Executive Steve Newhouse, for providing this venue to do this. We thought it's important to let you know about a couple things. The CARES Act is pretty comprehensive, but the important part is to see how we can stimulate cash into small businesses quickly. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the CARES Act. It's you can think about it in three ways. The CARES Act is an emphasis on working with the SBA, the Small Business Administration. It's also working with the changing of the business tax filing requirements. That's important. And the third part is the modifications of employment insurance, which our Director of Employment and Training, Steve Knob, will talk about shortly. So you're hearing a lot about these programs. I want to talk about two of them. The first one is the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. You've heard that, the EIDL, and you're going to hear of a lot of acronyms coming up, but this is the one that's going on right now. The second one we're going to talk about is the PPP, or the Paycheck Protection Program. So let's get into the EIDL. Too many acronyms, I know. So this is an SBA loan that's available right now for a working capital. It's up to a $2 million loan. It's a loan, so it does have interest, 3.75% interest for small businesses, and 2.75% for is a nonprofit rate. The important part of this is when I talked about cash stimulus immediately, this has a component that can give you up to $10,000 for applying for this loan. Now this is forgivable just by applying. So again, SBA.gov, all these resources are on our website for this part, but this could give you that cash quickly to help you recover. So let's talk a little bit about the PPP starting today, and the rules did change last night as far as how the regulations are going toward this, and I imagine they'll change further. This starts today. You have up until June 30th of 2020 to apply for payroll funds, and it's just like it sounds. This loan is made up of funds to help you pay people working again, to rehire your employees, to put directly towards your payroll. Now, there are folks that say, well, frankly, I will do that, but I also need some money for other things. So there's a forgiveness part of this, which we can outline. So let's talk a little bit about that. How do you apply? You apply through a lender, an SBA lender, and that list is changing as well. The other program, like I mentioned, is that one you go directly to the SBA. This one you go to an SBA lender. Okay, so who can apply? Small businesses, under 500 employees. And can you use it for other things? As I mentioned, yes, you can. How much can I get? So let's talk about a case scenario. Say your average payroll is $1,000 a month. 250% of that is $25,000. That is what you're entitled to for a loan. So let's talk a little bit about forgiveness. If you use those funds for payroll, it is forgiven. The other expenses are considered a loan, a 2-year loan. So let's talk about 3 numbers, 216. It's a 2-year loan at 1%, and it's 6 months deferred. That's the quickest way I probably can talk to you about that. And I know it sounds confusing, but this is a pretty important program because it's a very low interest, and it's a quick way to get funds. So some other suggestions is that, it sounds so confusing sometimes, all these, the SBA and all the acronyms, but start talking to your bankers. If you have a relationship with a banker, go to that banker, talk to that banker and say, who do you know? Who does this? Who is an SBA lender? Most likely they can tell you this. Go to your accounting firm, say, I need a little help. You're going to need some help with some of the payroll requirements for this and the documentation. You're going to need that help. And if you use a vendor like a Paychex or something like that, go to them, ask them for the reports. Most likely they will have those reports for you. And lastly, we're all home and we're all practicing safe distancing, but I can tell you that maybe your neighbor has some college kids that are home that can help you with this process. There's a lot of people home that possibly can help you. You're not alone in this. So I just want to make sure you guys knew that. I'm going to hand it over right now to Steve Knob to talk a little bit about unemployment insurance. But again, to repeat what Bill said, these resources are available on our website, and Lincione will be doing about some of the other resources you could look into. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're hanging in out there. These are tough times. Basically, I'm going to talk about what immediate assistance individual can get right now. A lot of things that have been talked about so far are loans and things like that that have a bit of a wait time. There is one other program available for businesses out there that the New York State Department of Labor runs. It's called the Shared Work Program. This is if you're in a situation where you have to cut back hours, possibly, they can cover some of those costs. Some of your employees, if their hours are cut back, say 50%, 25%, unemployment insurance can kick in and pay the difference in those hours that have been cut back. Information on the Shared Work Program is on our website. If you go to the county's homepage, there's a COVID-19 page there. If you click on that, there's a tab that has economic assistance. At the bottom of that page is contact information for myself. And then there is a link to the Orange County Employment and Training Administration webpage. There are a number of links there that you can go to. A lot of the stuff I'm going to talk about now is in those links, and hopefully you find it very helpful. The unemployment insurance, that's immediate for folks. If you've lost your job due to the COVID-19, maximum unemployment insurance in New York is $504 a week. On top of that, if you've been laid off due to this pandemic, there's an additional $600 for you per week, and that is retroactive to the day we're laid off. That $600 will go through the end of July. So that's a nice bonus for folks. That actually the $600 alone, 40-hour work week, pretty much comes out to $15 an hour. So that's immediate. That's now. I know if you're listening out there, you're probably, and you've been trying to apply for unemployment insurance or have applied, it's very frustrating. The system keeps crashing. The phone lines keep crashing. They are overwhelmed. Please be patient. Understand that prior to this happening, the staff for the Labor Department was dealing with an unemployment rate of, close to under 4%. So they were staffed accordingly. Now with this wave of folks losing their jobs, they are overwhelmed. So, be patient, keep trying. As an example, previously the weeks of, we get these downloads from the Labor Department, how many people are collecting unemployment insurance in the county. Last week or 2 weeks ago, there were 50 to 75. This upcoming week, there are 4,000. So that's how much of an increase there are in UI claims just here in Orange County. So multiply that by the whole state, and then you can kind of see where they're at. So be patient, keep trying. They're hiring an additional 400 staff in Albany and Endicott, which is where the unemployment insurance offices are. They'll get there. They're going to get there. They're working around the clock. So just be patient, but keep trying. that is immediate assistance for you, and that is something that can help you out right now. Also, it's not just individuals who work for employers who are eligible now for unemployment insurance. Sole proprietors, if you had to close your business, say temporarily, and you're the sole proprietor of that business, you can now apply for unemployment insurance. In the past, that wasn't an option. Independent contractors can now apply for unemployment insurance. Gig workers can apply now. So the categories have been opened up for who is eligible for unemployment insurance that weren't necessarily eligible in the past. What else? There is, we don't know about different information coming out about the direct cash assistance program. That's everyone gets a check based on how much your income is. If you're getting direct deposit, I guess they're going to come out in 3 weeks. Going to start with that. Again, immediate cash, hopefully into your pocket to help you out to get you through these hard times. But if you don't have direct deposit, it could be a few months, which that's not great news, but at least it's something that's coming down the line. The other thing, if you look at our website, which I mentioned before, there are links to all the Department of Labor FAQs, frequently asked questions about how do I apply, who's eligible, what all the benefits are. I encourage anyone to go there, click on those links, get that information. It's good information, and it can kind of guide you through this process. Also on our website, if you are unemployed and you are looking for work, and you don't want to collect unemployment insurance, there are a number of employers out there who are hiring. The grocery stores are hiring, Walmart, Lowe's is hiring folks. They've been affected by this, but they're deemed essential, so they still are open. They have lost some of their staff to COVID-19, so they do need people to fill in the gaps and help them out. So if you are looking for work, please look at the website and apply for some of those jobs. Also, if you're at home, you've got time on your hands and you're wondering what to do and you want to upgrade your skills, we have it's called Metrics Learning. It's a free online training program. It has over 5,000 online training programs you can do. Upgrade your skills, change your skills, all different kinds of fields. Healthcare, manufacturing, soft skills, you name it, it's there. Free of charge. There's a link on our webpage. Click on that, get yourself a license, and when the dust settles and we all get back at it, maybe you've got a different job or a better job based on the skills you've attained through this online training. That's about it. Any information, please contact me. My contact information is on the website. And good luck to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. And last but definitely not least, who represents the backbone of business in Orange County, Lynn Cione, the president and CEO of the Orange County Chamber of Commerce, and a real big partner of us here. So, Lynn, welcome. And you want to talk about resources, and then we'll take questions from everybody?
Sure. Thank you so much, Steve. Good afternoon, everybody. I want to thank everyone so much for joining us. And thank you, Steve, County Executive Steve Newhouse, for this very important town hall. I want to echo what everyone else said, and it is a very tough time for all of us. And I hope that you and everyone you care about is well, and that everyone stays well. The thing to remember is that first, we will get through this because we are getting through this. We're getting through this day by day. So each day we're a little closer to the end. And from our perspective, one of the things I want you to remember is that if you think about every crisis creates an opportunity, and that's what we're here to help you with, is to help you find those opportunities. To start out with is with the ESD. And Amanda has said this, and Steve has said this, and Bill has said this. All the rules are changing at light speed. This morning, the PPP rules changed. The other day, the ESD rules changed. Last week, the rules regarding construction, whether construction wasn't considered an essential business, changed. Realtors are now, some realty operations are now considered an essential business. So every day things change, and I would strongly urge you to check our website at orangeny.com and the county's website, because this is where you'll be able to get all of those updates. We wade through all the updates for you and then post them, so you don't have to worry about, am I looking at something that's up to date? Because when we say that things change drastically every single day. So the ESD guidance has changed. You can also call me on my cell. My cell number is 845-551-9546. Some of the things that we've been doing is helping the businesses determine whether they are essential according to the state regulations or not, and then helping them to file for waivers. There are waivers that are available so that you can potentially be considered as an essential business. However, the wait on that is also very long because they've also been inundated with that. If you have, as Amanda had said, if you have questions about an SBA lender, check with your lenders first. If you have a relationship with a bank or a lending institution, go to them first. They know you, they trust you, trust them. That's the best place to go and speak first. The IRS has numerous rule changes. Some of them came down again this morning regarding filings. The SBA rules that have come out have significant regulations regarding payroll taxes, and depending on what type of business you have and how it's formed. So please make sure that you speak with your accountant. There's a rule that we operate in, is that your best friends are your lawyer, your banker, your accountant. These are the times to make sure that you have a very close relationship with them. So now, some of the assistance. We help with some of the assistance. I've helped a number of people and walked through the SBA loan process with them. The other people I would strongly recommend that you speak to is the SBDC, which is the Small Business Development Center. They have an office in our office. They have one over by Stewart Airport, New York Stewart Airport, but right now everything's being done remotely. They can help walk you through the process. And while they're doing that, they can also help you rewrite your business plan, because we're all walking through this one way now, and I can almost guarantee you we're all going to look real different on the way out. And our businesses are going to have to adapt, and there's going to be changes that are going to be brought because we're going to do business different. There's going to be new regulations, new rules. So our good friends over at SBDC can help you with that. And their number's on our website, but I'll give it to you now. It's 802-9150. And Miriam Bouchard is the contact person over there. She's a wonderful, full of knowledge, tremendous expertise. Also, if you're looking for potentially being certified for MWBE, Minority Women's Certification, she can help you with that. But I would strongly urge you, if you're having some issues with the loan application, to reach out and have someone help you. It's a very, it's not difficult, but it's a little convoluted. And as Amanda had said, you need to be able to get information from your accountant and from your payroll organization. So please feel free, reach out to me, reach out to Bill, reach out to the SBDC. Now there's a number of other, a couple of other loan programs that are available also. To my knowledge, at this time, New York State does not have its own loan program. Some states do. New York City does have some assistance that's available for employers and employees. We've been referring a lot of people to Community Capital Loans. They have been a very strong partner with our businesses at the Chamber. And thank you, Bill. And their website is communitycapitalnewyorkny.org, and they take their the applications online. So that's a great community partner for many of our businesses. On our website, there's also a number of other grants and loans that are available, but they are multi-state. They are being given through the generosity of very, very large organizations and very large companies. So the competition for these is really fierce because it's multi-state. It's not regional. It's not just, statewide. So Facebook is listed on there, but they have not yet, I see the lovely coronavirus score that we all are so familiar with. So Facebook has not yet opened their grants yet. The James Beard Foundation has one for the beverage industry, for the food and beverage industry. It's a relief fund. Kiva has a small business loan. The Restaurant Workers Community Foundation has one. There's a Main Street initiative. The Verizon has one that has come out. And there's some other lifeline resources that are available. The other things that we've been doing is, if you own your building, if you rent, speak to your landlord, see if there's some way that you can renegotiate your rent at this time, to be able to conserve some resources. The landlords have been very understanding to a large extent. Of course, they need to make their mortgage payments also and their tax payments, but please, reach out to your landlord. If you find that you or one of your employees, that there's basic needs that are not being met, food, shelter, you need some kind of assistance, the county website, our website has all of these resources. There are a number of food pantries. Recap is doing an amazing job being able to distribute food and cooked meals and food baskets for people. Hudson Valley Basket Brigade is another one that's doing that. So there are resources that are available, and you can reach out to me, you can reach out to Bill, anybody from the county, and we will make sure that you get assistance. The other thing that I do want to touch on, and I've mentioned this before, we are very isolated as businesses and as people. And that's one thing that's very hard for many of us. It's a lot of stress. We have an economic slowdown that's happening. We also have a pandemic that we're in the middle of. So if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling depressed, please call the county's mental health number. It's 800-832-1200. And people will listen to you. It's a no judgment zone. We're all feeling really anxious, and we're all feeling there's a lot of uncertainties, but there are people who will help you, help your employees. Also, Access Supports for Living has a walk-in addiction and mental health service in Middletown, one in Middletown and one in Newburgh. There is no appointment necessary. There's no referral needed. You can email me at the chamber, and my email is lynnc, Lynnc, at orangeny.com. And we're here to help you. We can help you with some marketing, social media, HR resources, remote working assistance. We're your chamber, and we're here to help you. Earlier I said that every crisis creates an opportunity. It's an opportunity for us to change. It's an opportunity for us to grow. It's an opportunity for us to go down a different path. And the key is to locate those opportunities. And you as entrepreneurs, that's your wheelhouse. That's what you do. You find opportunities in situations. So I know that you will be able to see opportunities where others cannot. So I urge you, take a look at your business, deconstruct it, look at all the different moving parts that are there. See what are those pieces you want to bring with you, and those pieces that you say, well, maybe now I can massage it a little bit. I can change things a little bit. There's the concept of creative destruction in economics, and this is a good time to start looking at that. How can you innovate your business to meet new needs? How can you innovate your business to meet opportunities that you may see? If you want to sit and have a chat, I'll be more than happy to talk with you about that and work through some of that with you. This is the time when old ideas are going to be supplanted by new ideas. This is the time when those 8-track cassettes are going to be long gone, when now it's going to be streaming music and everything else. The way that we did business is going to change dramatically. We're all here to help you. We will all get through this together. There's there's a quote, and I know Steve Newhouse is probably going to start laughing when I say this, but one of my favorite books is Lord of the Rings. And when Aragorn is at the Black Gate and he gives a rousing speech, and he says that we will fight and we will stand, and there may be a day when the courage of men fails, but it is not this day. And it is not this day. This is the day we fight. This is the day Orange County stands up. We do well. We support each other. We move on, and we will grow. And I believe in my heart of hearts that we will be fine.
Well,
And now
thank
I'm
you.
going to turn it back over.
Thank you, Lynn. I thought you were going to give the quote from the series that was on HBO. I watched it when I was in Iraq. Oh my God, Game of Thrones, where the guy says, "Today I'm not going to die," and a big sword fight. Anyway, I saw a lot of people posting last night. Oh my God, I'm concerned. I'm anxious. I'm really worried, and I've been posting on their page. if you see me worry, then you should worry. But I'm not worried right now. We have a lot of concerns, and there's a lot of rough waters ahead of us, and we are coming into the thick of it now. That's not to be underestimated or under talked about, but I do see us all getting through this, and we are here as a group to. And this is not just a quick 1 hour thing, and we're out. A lot of people are asking questions. Some of them have been asked already, so I'm just going to hit through them quick. Like people said, are one of you guys available to talk about the PPP program? Yes. You just heard Lindsay Owen give you her cell phone number. Amanda, Bill, and Steve have their emails, cell phones, and phone numbers out there. So definitely take advantage. At the end of this webinar, Facebook Live, whatever you want to call it, we will have a list of contacts and some quick links for you. So with that, let's go into some questions here. And some of them, again, I think were answered. Like, what does a small corporation do if they can no longer conduct business? What is available? That's pretty much what we're talking about, right? All these programs. The next thing is, has anyone actually heard back from the Small Business Association? Lynn, you said you have, right? And you guys are all nodding your head. So they are conducting dialogue with you guys.
They should receive a confirmation email after application. If they don't receive a confirmation, then they need to probably contact one of us, contact the SBDC, or contact the SBA directly.
So,
Yep. I'm sorry,
ahead,
just to
Bill.
add one other thing. Lynn mentioned the SBDC, and we've on that fact sheet that we've got out there, we mentioned them as well for technical assistance. I do see some comments, and I've heard from others that people have called there, sometimes with no answer. Every time I've done a test call after that, they answer it live, but it's obviously happening just like SBA, just like unemployment, as Steve Knob said. They're inundated right now. So sometimes you're not going to get someone live. You're going to get a busy signal, whatever it might be. But they are talking to thousands of people, so it is valid. So all these people we're telling you to reach out to, you've got to keep trying them. It's just they're getting inundated right now.
And just for everybody on my panel, there's a lot of people on here from New Jersey and Ulster County and other counties around us that have businesses in Orange County or are from those other communities trying to see what's available to them. So here is a question from, does all of New York get the same aid, or is it county by county? I live in Orange, but my business is in Ulster County.
I don't believe it's set by county. I haven't seen that there's any ranking for counties because these are federal programs.
The only thing that we haven't really gotten into, which will be released sometime next week, is the Orange County IDA's program, which I assume will be for Orange County businesses only. But stay tuned for more information. That's supposed to be launched on the 9th, so in 6 days. Who are the SBA lenders in Orange County? And before you guys answer this, even if they're not listed, I know Steve Knob, I think, talked about it before we went live on this, that some businesses or some banks, even though they're not on there, have decided to get involved on there to help their customers. One of you guys want to hit that?
If they have a relationship already with the bank, if that's their primary lender, that's what they're saying. They may not be involved with it before, but under these circumstances, because they've got a good relationship, they'll get in, they'll throw their hat in the ring.
Okay.
And as far as which lenders, that's still being sorted out. It's not definitive. We've been reaching out to banks the last few days. They still don't know some of the details, and some of those details are changing. Even overnight, they change.
Yep.
So that the list of SBAs, I hate to not give a definitive answer, but that's still really having to be nailed down. As soon as we have that, we'll distribute that information to anyone that's been in contact with us.
Okay, one of them says, I applied for both EIDL and PPP from the SBA. I know a lot of acronyms, folks. This reminds me of the military. Over a week ago, but any idea how long it will take before I start getting a check?
I don't know, and I don't know if they really know. They've been honing down. Some are saying 3 weeks, but they're honing down on what the numbers are.
I know people that have applied for unemployment are getting it within 7 days. Once you get in the queue, you're okay. Right. But with the SBA, that is as long as you have your foot in the door, that's the first step. Like everybody that's on my panel, we talked a little bit earlier. 2 months ago, nobody foresaw this coming like this in this apparatus. The federal government and the state, they didn't think that they would have this catastrophic impact on the economy. So a lot of this is a fly it and build it as you're flying type of philosophy. So bear with us on it. It's not our creation, but we're going to help you get through it. So what benefits do independent contractors qualify for?
They just as any other worker would. You go to UI, you apply. But if you're an independent contractor, you have to have your information available as far as what your wages were. Whether it's a 1099, whatever your business records are, you're going to have to show what your income was in order for them to determine the level of benefits you'll receive.
Okay. Somebody just texted, and I'm going back from what you guys are sending me, my staff here, just so you know, and what's online. I've been trying to get on Bank of America's website and mobile site for the past 5 days. Can't even get in. I waited an hour and a half with Bank of America earlier today. So I guess we're just going to keep that same message. You're going to have to stay patient with it. They're overloaded. Is PPP program open to businesses who have only 1099 employees? If so, will those companies qualify for loan forgiveness?
Yeah, it does qualify, Steve, and they will be forgiven if they use that money towards putting people back to work.
Okay. I own a home-based business. Am I eligible for a loan or a grant?
Yes.
Mhm.
If you're incorporated, you can.
Okay. Can we apply for these programs if we are a DBA?
I mean, if they're a corporation with a certain incorporated name but are using a DBA, that's fine. That's just kind of another name they're using. I'm not sure if I totally understand the question.
And if not, we'll find out. If you want to ask more, people ask you questions,
Contact me.
Shoot Bill an email on this. What pay period will they ask for proof of payroll?
So I'll take this. They were asking for the average of last year's wages and then the average monthly payroll. That number gets moved into what you will get as a loan for the PPP. So if last year's 2018's average monthly payroll was $10,000, you will qualify for a $25,000 loan.
Okay. We hit a couple of these already, and my guys in the queue are very slow, who are sitting in front of me here. I have, what if I don't have people working for me, but I still want to keep them in the payroll, like 10 hours a week, just to keep them? Great question. I think, Steve Knob, this is up your alley, right? If you want to keep people on for 10.
Yeah, that's perfect for the shared work program. I think that would fit nicely. And again, that's the New York State Labor Department. Yeah, I think that would work out. Absolutely.
Another question, will all their emails be online so I can email people like Bill? Yes, great question. What if you don't file your if you didn't file your 2019 taxes yet? Will that be a problem?
No.
No.
Go after 2018 filings. And don't forget they extended it too.
Extended it. Right. Yeah. Everything's extended to July.
One individual said that he filed the independent contractor on a website, and they still haven't sent him anything in his account yet. So I would ask that individual. I don't want to give people's personal names out on here, but shoot Steve an email.
It's because I can answer that because they're accepting those on the 10th of April.
Okay.
So
So
or
even
is
though
he
this,
talking
That's
about,
new.
or is he talking about his unemployment insurance?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, patience is a
unemployment
virtue.
insurance. Yeah, unemployment insurance.
Oh.
Yeah, you just have to wait. I mean, I apologize, but they are overwhelmed. You just have to be patient, but everything is retroactive till the date, you stopped working. So it should come.
Great questions here. If you have two jobs, one a W-2 with hours cut and the other a 1099, can I apply for benefits for which one? Good
Wow, I feel like
questions.
I'm on Jeopardy.
Unemployment?
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know the answer to that
Okay.
question. That would have to be specifically for unemployment insurance.
We'll
But you
find
know
out.
what? If you want to reach out to me, either call me, shoot me an email. We can have a one-on-one conversation for that, and maybe try to figure out how we can figure that out. I can contact some folks, maybe it's Labor Department.
Okay. When is the unemployment office open? Is it open on weekends?
I believe yes, they are running all the time. You can try to file whenever you want. The phone, though, I don't think it's available yet 24/7, but you can apply online at any time.
One of the pieces of information that was said to us is that for SBA loans and any online portal applications, to apply after the busiest times. So to go, after 7 o'clock at night, before 7 o'clock in the morning, and you
What
may be able to get off faster.
what businesses aren't eligible?
So we did realize that 501c6s are not eligible and nonprofits. And there are some others that are listed on the SBA website.
When is the retroactive date for the $600 unemployment benefits?
Ooh, that's a good
The-
one. I believe it goes back to it's March. I think it's the 16th. Was that the Monday?
February 15th?
I think so. But that is, if you go to our website, there's actually a 6-page Q&A that the Labor Department put out. That information is in there.
Okay.
County Executive, back to
Yes,
the
sir.
last question of who's eligible. Only companies with employees under 500 employees.
Okay.
That
How is unemployment going to affect the employer? What about staff that just want to quit to apply for unemployment? I've gotten that a lot from people that said that some of their employees are making more by being on unemployment.
it's happening in the dairy industry, which is part of what's killing them.
Same rules apply. If you quit, you may not be eligible for unemployment. I
Okay.
mean, keep that in mind. I mean,
Great question.
if you're laid off, yes, but if you quit, you're still going to go through the same process. If right now, as if you quit 2 months ago, you're still, they're still going to ask you the various questions that unemployment asks you about that. So I wouldn't recommend that at all. You quit, you may get nothing. So think about that before you do that.
One of the things I'm fielding questions from actually a couple of town supervisors in the county on this, not even about this webinar, but questions are coming in. There was an article yesterday about dairy farmers dumping milk. I get that the demand is probably down because people are hunkering down and maybe not shopping as much. Is there anything for the panel that we could do to help these dairy farmers? And I've gotten requests to help escort them to New York City where they could process the milk since I've been sitting here. But anything in addition to that?
I was just on a call before this one, led by Cornell Cooperative Extension, trying to, kind of get these answers. There's still a lot of uncertainty there. We are recommending that they do apply for the economic injury grant. It's still not 100% certain that they will be accepted, but we're telling them to do that as well as unemployment, some of these other things that are available to everyone.
Can you talk about the employee retention program?
Retention program. One of them. Well, we focused on the first two ones that were the immediate cash back into our economy. To get into the other parts of it, we haven't really dove into those, but we have discussed it with them actually.
Another great question. Again, I got a ton of them here, and I'm going to try to stay on till 2 o'clock with you guys as long as the panel can stay with me. If you had to stop working because your daycare provider was put under quarantine by the doctor for medical reasons pertaining to COVID-19, shouldn't you be able to apply for paid family leave since you have to stay home to take care of your kids? Great question. Real question.
Is that covered under the second COVID relief bill, federal relief bill? I have to research that.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a number of HR resources that are available with the Family Leave Act that interplay with the CARES Act. So if someone wants, if whoever's asking that, they can just email me at lindsay@orangeny.com, and I'll get the answer for that, because there's a lot of moving parts with those questions.
If I have two LLCs, can I apply for SBA assistance for each one?
Same owner, two different businesses. I would say, yeah, two different sets of employees. You have two companies, you have different sets of payrolls. I would say yes, but I'm not
Exactly.
sure, and I'm going to look into that.
If you have payroll, it's the key. You can't just have a paper LLC with no payroll to cover.
Right.
And Steve Knob, you mentioned that there are job opportunities. You went through a few. Where would people find information if they come to your site? Are some of them listed or no?
It's on our site. Yeah, we're trying to keep that up to date as best we can. But if you go to the New York State Department of Labor site, they've got a link there to where they're listing all jobs throughout the state. They're posting jobs for that.
And you don't have to be a doctor or a nurse or a medical person to be in high demand right now. There are people cross-training people to take calls, to do paperwork. All those type of
Absolutely.
things are also required. So, going back to the questions, any prognosis of how long it will take to get checks from the federal government?
The just based on your income, those checks or the
Yeah.
UI checks. I mean, I just heard today or read today that if you don't have direct deposit for your income tax, checks are going to be delayed for months. That's the latest today. A paper check.
Bill, your daughter just posted, "Hi, Daddy." She's very advanced.
Pretty good for a 2-year-old.
Yeah, I know, she's good. Can officials of a business apply for UI who were not able to prior to this unemployment insurance? Can you apply for it?
Officials?
Can officials or of a business apply for unemployment insurance who are not able to do this prior to that?
I don't understand what officials mean, but I would, yes. I
Yeah.
mean, pretty much anyone who has lost employment, unless they're an S corp. So if you're an S corporation, you actually pay yourself. They're the only ones not eligible. But those specific questions can be answered by the state labor department. I'm not.
Okay.
I don't understand the official part. I need more details on that.
All right, this is a good question. While waiting to be approved, will there be leniency on expenses that we are incurring? Now, I know utilities have been put on a pause, and there's also a pause for private and for businesses and individuals for their rent. Is there any other forgiveness or leniency for any other bills or maybe expenses a business might have?
Those businesses would probably need to speak with their vendors and to renegotiate any contracts that they have. The utilities has that forbearance has come down from the state, but credit cards, any other private loans, those have to be negotiated on a one-on-one basis.
What is the difference between filling out a PPP application on the New York State website versus filling it out with a bank?
Okay, so to clarify that, the PPP has to be put through a lender, an approved SBA lender. You can actually get ahead of it and print out the application and start filling it out, but you have to go through a lender, through a bank. I hope that answers that question. But that's different as compared to the other program we were talking about.
Since you're on a roll, Amanda, under the PPP for the forgiveness portion of the loan, do employees have to be back to work? And how does that work?
Yeah, so the 2-month period when you are getting that money back for your payroll, you are expected to make every attempt to bring your people who you have laid off back to work and prove that. Or at least bring back 75% of your payroll back to work. that's what they're expected to do in order to be forgiven of that loan.
Are commercial mortgages deferred as well as personal mortgages? It was my understanding that they just get kicked off a few months. You still have to pay the
Mhm.
amount. You're just not paying. You don't have
You're
to pay the
paying
bill
interest.
Being
Right.
deferred,
Yeah.
until later. Okay.
forbearance.
Mhm.
What do we do if people are too afraid to go get jobs, given the virus is still out there? Can we recover from? Yeah, can we recover? First of all, we definitely are going to recover from this. And if you're afraid of getting a job, then I would say then you're going to have to stay home and collect unemployment, right, Steve?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as long as you're eligible.
Yep.
I mean, if you were laid off because of the pandemic, yes, you're eligible. If you're not comfortable going back to work, then yeah, don't go back to work. That's for sure.
And we understand there's a lot of fear out there. People afraid to go
Mhm.
shopping, and you can't see your loved ones, so it's definitely justified. But again, like I said earlier, we're going to get through this. And is there a list of approved vendors that facilitate SBA loans? We keep getting that question.
We'll get that out as soon as it is finalized, as soon
Yep.
as it's definitive.
If you have a company that has expenses to maintain but no payroll, can you still apply?
Well, not for the
Not for the
paycheck
payroll.
protection plan. There are other opportunities. I mentioned the IDA loan. That's most likely going to be one of the sources they can go after for some of these other expenses,
Mhm.
equipment leases, supplies to vendors and such. So that's going to be one.
Here's a
Am I still on mute? I'm sorry.
No, you're on.
I'm sorry. PPP is not available for that. But that's one of the situations that the IDA is going to be looking to assist with, whether it's helping with your vendors or equipment leases, things like that, that don't fall under the kind of relief you'll get from the federal government program.
Here's a great question, probably Lynn or maybe Steve. And I've been referring people to the New York State Department of Labor, but I do get this quite a lot as the county executive. What is being done about employers who aren't doing essential work but are refusing to lay off employees so they can get more financial help? And where can we report a business that is still open and doing non-essential work?
I've gotten a lot of those questions. All of those inquiries or people want to make a claim like that, you want to allege something like that, you need to contact the New York State Department of Health. There's a
Department
website
of
where
Health,
it's
okay.
easy to Google New York State Department of Health COVID.
There's-
And there's a hotline number on the middle of that page. I've been sharing that link with people that have been
Let's add that onto the summary later if we could, because I do get that a lot.
You can also go New York State Department of Labor, though. They've got the labor fair standards. We have a link on our page that you can also file a complaint
Mhm.
as an employee if you feel that your employer is saying you are essential, but you feel you're not. There is an area there in the fair labor standards that you can file.
Okay. So again, if we're going to wrap this up in a few minutes, but orangecountygov.com/coronavirus. If you Google it, you come up there's a picture of the virus and it says coronavirus. A couple more questions. The matrix learning that was mentioned earlier is asking about who referred you when you register. There are 4 options. Is there a specific one we should use?
As far as who referred you, no,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Okay.
No, just do what you have to do to get the license, and just dig right in.
Did you say that S corporation owners can't receive unemployment insurance?
That's what I believe. Yes, if you're an S corp and you pay yourself a salary, you cannot apply.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay. I have a friend of mine working at home and hasn't filed taxes in a few years. Will she still get a check? That might be a problem. I don't know.
No, I believe I don't know. They're going by 2018
Yeah.
tax returns. I know that. But I did see somewhere though that might still be able to. But I don't know how you would go about getting that money because they're doing it based on a return.
Turn
I
right.
guess you'd have to contact the IRS would be my suggestion.
This is a long question being typed in. I wish I had a court stenographer instead of policy wonk typing this. Okay. Here's a long question. I own a contracting business. some of those clients closed their businesses temporarily and their employees assigned to those accounts became unemployed. I have other work available to reassign these displaced employees, but they are refusing to take the temporary new work. Can they still collect unemployment?
That's a good question. Maybe. Again, it's still the same rules apply. I mean, if you're, I would assume, and again, this is just my assumption. I don't work for the labor department, but I am familiar with kind of how it works. Specific questions would definitely have to be directed towards them. But I would think if you're deemed essential, and you work for a company that is essential and there's work for you, if you don't really have a good reason why you can't work, I don't think you'll get unemployment insurance. I mean, you may not. I don't know. It's there's a lot of gray areas with this stuff. I mean, we've talked about it, for the last hour. This stuff is coming at us fast and furious. It's changing every day. But yeah, before I would do anything, I would check with the labor department on that. I would try to contact the unemployment insurance office and see, because I'd hate for you to lose your job and not get unemployment insurance.
All right, let's take the last two questions. My company is seasonal. I have expenses that are still occurring. What loan am I eligible for?
I would say go to the EIDL, because we're all in this disaster together, and they might qualify for that.
Economic injury.
Last question. Are tax return payments delayed? Are my 2019 taxes delayed?
The refunds delayed, or can they delay the filing?
I would answer both.
Well, the filings are delayed. They've been extended for filing or paying. I don't know. I know people have been receiving their refunds.
Okay,
if they've
so
already filed.
that answers both questions then. Great. Well, I want to thank the panel. We got great people, all personal friends of mine, and we worked through a lot of these things together. I understand that we're heading into some really uncharted territory that's going to change the way economic development and the business community is going to be after this. But I encourage you to continue to reach out to the individuals on this, the four individuals here. Amanda Dana from tourism, my friend Lynn Cione from the Chamber of Commerce, Bill Fioravanti from economic development, and Steve Knob from employment and training, all doing a great job, very experienced. And if they don't have the answer for you, they'll get the answer for you. And we'll continue to do this. We might do this in a week from now when the IDA clears up their loan process and when we find out more from the state, federal government on how we can do things. So continue to have your questions. Thank you for joining us. Lynn, Bill, Steve, and of course, Amanda, thank you for joining me, all you guys.
Stay in touch, everyone.
Have a
Hang in
great
there.
day and continue to move forward,
You're welcome.
folks. Thank you.
Thank you.